As part of addressing challenges faced by defunded students and those classified as the missing middle, the Student Representative Council at Wits launched the Kobo Thuto Wits SRC Legacy Fund. Now, through the initiative, the SRC aims to raise 15 million rand that will be matched by the institution to a total of 30 million rand. SRC President Nombulelo Chiya believes the fund will go a long way in guaranteeing the right to education for deserving students. She joins us this afternoon to talk a bit more about the Legacy Fund. Of course, she's Nombulelo Mkabayi Chiya, Wits SRC President. Thank you very much for joining us, Nombulelo.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
No, it's a pleasure to have you with us. So let's talk about this Legacy Fund. We understand it was a response to the persistent challenges of financial inequality that have seen a number of deserving students being excluded. Just talk to us about it.
Yes, so the current issue that we have is the crisis of financial exclusion. So you have students who are defunded, students who are the missing middle, someone who doesn't qualify for NSFAS and someone who doesn't earn enough to be able to pay for these fees. So the Kobo Thuto SRC Legacy Fund comes in to deal with these issues that are in place, because right now we're having registration at Wits University. So many students cannot be able to come back and register because they have this financial blockage. And the issue that we have at hand is that these are the students who are coming from disadvantaged economic backgrounds. For the fact that you're funded by NSFAS, it indicates that you cannot be able to afford to pay for your fees. So you can't expect the kind of a student to be able to pay for a 50% outstanding fees or anything of the sort. The Kobo Thuto SRC Legacy Fund is in place to ensure that we deal with these issues that are in hand, and we're able to ensure that students are able to come back and register. And like I've explained before, it's not something that only exists for now. It's something that has to be sustainable even for the years that are going to come. Because we've seen many SRCs who have started SRC fundraising campaigns, but they ended because they were only for the purpose of the registration period. But the issue of financial exclusion exists throughout the entire year. And the issue of student debt is not only a Wits issue, it's an entire country's issue. At Wits University, we're currently sitting at 1.6 billion of student debt. You're going to find that there are these other different student debt that exist within the entire country. And as Wits SRC, we took it upon ourselves to say, yes, we always come to demand. We demand in this youth, and we demand and come with solutions at place. So the Wits SRC, we're coming to say there's this Kobo Thuto SRC Legacy Fund, which is not only a fundraising campaign, but a call for action. To say each and every person who can come into the picture and fundraise towards this fund must come and donate. As little as 100 rand, you can go to the Wits SRC website and donate towards this fund. And each and every donation is doubled and matched halfway by the VC.
Okay. And this was a commitment by the VC?
Yes, this was a commitment by the Vice Chancellor as well.
It's honestly very commendable. So for the students now, how are you going to manage this process for them, for those that would like to benefit? How do they go about ensuring that they're part of those who benefit from these funds?
So how we're going to be able to ensure that students are benefiting from this fundraising campaign is they must be able to apply. So we're going to fundraise and ensure that we open up applications for these students to apply for the SRC Kobo Thuto SRC Legacy Fund. So what needs to happen is that as we distribute these funds need to be coming in. Someone who's going to be donating as little as 100 rand will be matched halfway, automatically donating at 200 rand. If we're going to be able to reach, or rather when we reach the 15 million, it will be matched halfway, amounting to 30 million. And like I said before, currently we are prioritizing the registration period because students cannot be able to come back into the institution. But it's not even a one thing now. We're not only aiming to reach 30 million only. We're aiming to ensure that we get the 30 million and even go beyond. Even if after I've left as Mkabayi in the SRC, this SRC fundraising campaign is a legacy thing. 10 years after fees must fall, we can't be speaking about the issues of financial exclusion. The June 1955 Freedom Charter speaks about the ability for institutions of higher learning and culture to be open to all people, regardless of their economic status or classes that they come from within society.
It's also unfortunate that we're still talking of a missing middle when everybody has actually confirmed that most of these parents cannot afford. If you're a nurse or a police officer, you might not meet the threshold, but nevertheless you cannot afford to be paying for school fees, exorbitant fees, such as those of most of these university institutions. But then beyond this, for those who want to fund, the issue of transparency is a big one, that they'd want to know that you guys are counting for these funds. So is it on your website where there will be some sort of a ledger where everybody can see that these are the funds that have now been accumulated and this is how they're being dispensed with?
So when it comes to the issue of the people who want to donate, they can trust this donation fund because the money comes in and goes directly to the university's account. And the university's account is the one that distributes the fund towards the students who need to get this fund. So it doesn't come to me as an SRC because I can also just do some other things, but it goes directly to the institution. And when it goes to the institution, we therefore check the social background of the students and ensure that they qualify, or rather these students can be able to benefit from this fund. So the money goes directly to the account of the university, and people can be able to trust that this fund fund will go directly to assist the students. It has happened before with the SRCs of fundraised. The money came in and it went directly to the students. And the work that we do is not for ourselves, but for the people. So when these funds are coming in, I'm not going to benefit anything, but I do what I do for the purpose of the students.
So what is the criteria for those who may benefit?
So when it comes to benefiting, we have what we call the hardship fund at Wits University. Students who cannot be able to afford can apply for that. But the crisis, or rather what led to us having this fundraising campaign, is that it's not enough when it comes to student issues or when it comes to the financial exclusion. Someone can be able to benefit from the hardship fund, which only pays up to 50,000. But that students, if it's the entire 50% outstanding debt is not covered, the student cannot be able to come back and register. So the entire campaign, or rather the fund, is there to ensure that these students are able to get the fund, or rather it covers all of those students who were defunded and not paid by the NSFAS. It covers someone who was benefiting from hardship, but the entire 50% was not covered. It covers someone who has an outstanding debt and has no means of paying that outstanding debt.